Complete darkness. The crowd has finally settled. The whispers have dwindled, and the movie is about to be over. There is pin drop silence, and suddenly you see directed by Christopher Nolan on the big screen. There's a genuine pause, and then all the people stand up and give a huge round of applause. And you look at that crowd in awe, and then you join in and you clap, acknowledging the intelligence of the people in the room and appreciating the crowd you were sitting with to watch a Christopher Nolan movie. I was staying in Chennai in 2017, out of college, without a job, preparing for CAT, and Dunkirk had just released. I asked my bhaiya, can I go for this movie? It was Friday, right? Friday afternoon show. मेरा favorite director का movie है भैया, जा सकते हैं? And भैया approved gladly. And with his blessings, I went to Ampa Skywalk in Chennai. Very excited. First Chris Nolan movie in a movie hall. I have been waiting for this day for a very long time. Which brings me to why was I waiting for this day? This craze, this love for Nolan started years ago in 2011. We used to have few classes where because there was nothing to play or there was a yoga class or something like that जहाँ पे movies चलाई जाती थी for us to improve our English skills and all. So we were sitting in school and my dear friend Aditya was able to get the screening for Inception, and this was my introduction to Chris Nolan. The first film I saw of Chris Nolan was Inception. He sat with me and he explained everything that was happening on the screen, and I was blown away. Like I was completely, thrown into the abyss, and I was like, wow, this is something very special. And as time progressed, I saw more movies. The more I saw, the more I read in college, the more I tried to understand what he's trying to say. I started enjoying Nolan's craft more and more. And for me, the special thing was the way he made me think after the movie's over. I have this philosophy, right, that the person who walks into the movie hall and the person who walks out, there has to be a difference. There has to be a delta. The delta is good, the movie is good. And the delta used to be huge after watching a Nolan film. And I used to feel like this is incredible. This is why I love watching movies. And talking about this habit of thinking, while watching Dunkirk, there is this particular scene where people are trying to hide inside a fishing boat. And there are like 5 to 7 people, I guess, and they have to choose amongst the people who should be let go while you have the Germans attacking the boat. There, you have a French soldier impersonating that he's a British soldier. And, he's accused of that and he's told that you leave it. And that scene made me think that this is just a brilliant way of showing human psychology in action. How will people behave? How will people react in times of peril? And this was a prime example of show versus tell in a movie like Dunkirk. And when the movie was over, I was amazed to see people get up and clap when they see the director's name on the big screen. The Chennai crowd, kudos to them. I saw a community that gets cinema, cheering my favorite filmmaker because he makes me think, because he makes all of us think, and he knows how to tell a story differently. By now that I see a lot of movies, and it rarely happens that something like this occurs inside a movie hall. And I was super glad to see that happening for the first Chris Nolan movie that I saw on the big screen. Which now brings me to his upcoming venture, the Odyssey. Myths, fables, fantasy, all coming together with an amazing music by Ludwig Göransson. He had to invent the music of that time, and a stellar star cast with the countdown trailer. If you have recently not seen it, please do watch it. It gets me all the more excited with IMAX cameras and Nolan literally going backwards in time. Literally to Homer. Instead of going forward like Tenet, Interstellar, to tell a story about future, he has chosen to tell a story about coming back home. And for me, I want to come back home to the thinking part. What Dunkirk did to me, what The Dark Knight did to me, what Inception made me feel, what Prestige made me feel. I want to come back to that zone. I want to come back to that emotion. I saw, what was the last film? Oppenheimer. I saw what he did with that. I was impressed, but I was not in that thinking zone. I was not charmed. I was not taken for a ride like I was for movies such as Prestige and The Dark Knight and Inception. So I want to be super excited again. And I just feel Odyssey might be the movie that raises the bar even higher. With his love for not using VFX, with his love for going above and beyond, for showing us something with a non-linear storyline, with, confusing the hell out of us. Watch the second viewing of Tenet is 100 times better better than the first viewing. And when you watch it, you feel the brilliance of this guy. And now, coming back to Odyssey, this is where I want my mind to be blown away. His job is half done. I'm ready to be impressed. He just has to deliver. I don't know if Odyssey will do that to me, but for sure, I'll let you know on the 18th of July. Stay tuned.